Well, E36 fans, the car is back. Not that it was ever missing, but I haven't worked on it for a while. I've just been driving it and enjoying it. Fortunately, the Porsche takes up every free moment that I have. I've got a good many upgrades for this car. They're not gonna all be in this video. In another video, I mentioned that I have some parts that are coming from Australia. Well, they have since shown up and they're gonna be in the next video. But this video has a good many mods and upgrades too, as well as some home office upgrades that I've been dying to do and show you guys, and it's helped me to make better YouTube videos. So let me revert back a few months, grow a beard, and get to working on this car. I absolutely love my LS swapped E36. I've been dailying it for like the last couple weeks. I mean, I drive it fairly often, but I've been driving it a lot more often because, well, the Porsche is broken and I've been working on the truck, and the truck has super wide wheels, which makes it a little less convenient to drive. But the main reason is because diesel is $6 a gallon and I can put E85 in the E36, and Sheetz is running a special for $1.99 gas, so of course I'm going to drive that. Now my E36 is kind of somewhere between race car and street car. It's not stripped, it has a full interior minus the back seats and plus a roll cage. It's got working heat, it's got power steering, it's got all working lights and signals and everything like that, passes inspection. The only thing it's really missing is AC, which is going to get retrofitted, and some gauges that I really just kind of need. And what do you need when you're daily driving a car? What's a very important gauge? Well, your fuel gauge. I haven't had a fuel gauge since I LS swapped this because I removed the stock cluster and put in the Holley Terminator 7-inch digital dash, which I absolutely love, and I've been meaning to retrofit it so I can have a fuel gauge in it, along with some other things, hopefully turn signals, maybe high beam indicator. So I pretty much had this configured how I want it. I have an odometer set up. There's a million things to do with this. This middle section is RPM, which you'll see when I start it. These bars up here are RPM as well. I have manifold, air temp, air to fuel ratio, oil pressure, water temp, battery voltage, odometer. This is GPS status. This is just showing that GPS that I put up there right now doesn't have service. Obviously we're in a garage, but the GPS does work. That's the speed right there. But the main thing is this wiring harness here. So this is the Holley 553106. It's another wiring harness for the digital dash. The digital dash plugs straight in to my Terminator X CAN connection. Super easy, love the thing. But to get additional sensors on there, you can add this wiring harness and add all sorts of stuff. So this is how I'm going to retrofit some of the things we're doing today. The first thing is the fuel gauge, because I need a fuel gauge in this thing. I have no idea how much gas is in it right now. I don't know what kind of fuel mileage it gets. Probably not great, maybe okay, who knows. I don't know if this has been done on an E36 before. I did a lot of research, and what's weird is the E36 gets its fuel level reading from both pumps. If you are familiar with E36, they have two pumps in the gas tank. One is like the main feed, which I upgraded, and the other one feeds fuel from the driver's side to the passenger side. Yeah, but apparently they both have readings in them because the tank kind of goes like this. If that makes any sense. I think it'll work, but is your gauge going to be accurate? I don't know. So these are all things hopefully figure out for you guys. Hopefully this works. We're just going to find out. Have any of you guys ever given a bad Father's Day gift? I know I have. But thankfully with the Ridge, we can fix that problem, and you can get a big discount. This video is sponsored by the Ridge, and together we're gonna help you get the perfect gift for your father for Father's Day. We all know dads can be kind of old school at some point, so the Ridge just came out with 2 new versions of their wallet, and these are actually leather. So if your dad wants that old school look and feel, this might be the wallets for him. And they have all the same features as all the other Ridge wallets. They can hold up to 12 cards plus cash. They have RFID blocking materials built in, and they're super slim. One of my personal favorites is this new Basecamp orange color. Very stylish, very slim, holds cards with a cash strap on the back. This is my go-to. Plus, along with the Basecamp orange wallet, they have the key case and this amazing all-metal pen. If you'd like to get yourself one of their wallets, and they have a huge collection of styles and colors, I'll have a link below. And again, for Father's Day, you can get up to 40% off a wallet for you or your father, your brother, your mother, whomever. And of course, guys, one of the benefits of these wallets is just that it's very compact. You can fit it in the front pocket. You don't have to sit on a big, fat, bulky wallet all day. Very nice, high-quality made wallets. You won't be disappointed. Big thanks to the Ridge for sponsoring this video, along with other ones. Be sure to check them out with the links below, including my code. Gonna need these. Now, I will say, having a removable steering wheel is gonna make this job much nicer and easier. And also the fact that this just slides in there. I do gotta take this out so I can get to the wiring. I already took this back panel off, which is right here. So I can plug the new wire connector in there. And then I gotta dig around and find the correct wires that I need. Yellow, yeah, that sounds familiar. The first step in wiring and configuring my custom fuel gauge is finding the correct wires. And let me tell you, there's a host of them back there. There we go. I think I figured out what wires I need. I didn't know if it was the X16 or the X17, but then I was reading, I think it's this little black one. So I'm gonna try the wires on here, see what happens. It's really, I mean, what else can I do? You just gotta test it out. After some research and some digging around, I think I found the right wires that I need for the fuel gauge sensor. There's only one way to find out. All right, well, there's some wiring, I guess. Might as well see what happens. Definitely some configuring I have to do. So as you guys can see, there's no fuel gauge here, which would be helpful. Top right-hand corner, select menu, configuration. There we go. I configured the cluster, but I couldn't get it to actually work, so it was time to break out the multimeter, start measuring ohms. I'm not a wiring junkie. I'll keep persevering. So here's one side, nothing. This is the brown and yellow, 270, which I believe would be the max. I think the next step is to actually take this to a gas station. I have this recorded now. Fill it up so it's completely full, because I don't know what it's at now. If I had to guess, I would guess it's half full right now. I don't know. I think that's the plan. See what these numbers are and then come back and try to figure this out. Plus today is the last day to get $1.99 gas at Sheetz, so might as well fill up everything that I can. Check the ohms and see what changed, but it was pretty empty. 8.7 gallons. It was more than half empty. So an update here, guys, with a full tank, and here's what we've got: 480. So it went up about 200 ohms. So that makes sense. If I had a third of a tank left, estimate, at 270 ohms, so now I've got a full tank at 470. That math seems to add up. So now that I had the math, I actually had to configure what ohms meant what percentage fuel level left in the tank in the Holley system. It's rather boring and mundane, but needed to be done. Boy, it's just, I'm kind of just doing this on a whim. I'm doing like 15 for one and then 16 for the next, so that should even out decently. Pretty linear, which is what you want. Is this boring for you guys? Because it's boring for me. So at this point it was showing 100% full, but I didn't know if it was actually configured correctly or if that was just luck. I actually needed to drive the car a bunch to get the fuel level to go down to see if everything I had done had actually worked. I'm going to mess around with this. I'll be back. Otherwise, we're going to move on to turn signal and high beam indicators. So I believe it's in here. Just got to figure out which one it is. So pin 1 is supposed to be high beam. Hey! All right, so that's definitely high beam. So then we need 3 and 4. The goal here was to actually get turn signal indicators on my digital dash, because right now you have no idea if the turn signals are on or not. And I also wanted to add a high beam indicator just because that would be helpful as well. Well, I'm gonna move on to the turn signals. I did figure out this one. This is left. Green, and we got blue. Oh my goodness, which blue is it? These both look like blue. Save it. And there it is. Hey, check this out though. Now, I always know when my high beams are on. Let's throw the signal on there. I think I want them up there maybe. Or maybe I'll put, let's see. Haha. Left. It's the little things, guys. Then the high beam with left. That's sweet. I'll probably end up configuring this a little bit differently, but for now, that's gonna be nice. There we go. We got right, we got left, and we got high beam. That is freaking awesome, guys. I wonder if hazards will do it. Oh, look at that. Even the hazards work. How OEM Plus is that? Little mods when they work are a lot of fun. After all that work a few months ago, I believe I got it all configured. The only thing I have to do now is actually take it for a drive and fill up the gas tank. We're in the 50s right now, fuel level wise. I need to fill it up and see if that changes and if it indeed goes up to roughly 100%. If it does, that means I configured it all correctly, I have the wiring correctly. We're good to go, finish this all up, put all the covers and plates back in, call this project done. So, quick trip to the gas station. Unfortunately, I can't get $1.99 gas anymore at Sheetz. That was like 6 months ago. As you guys saw, it actually works. I needed about 7.5 gallons of gas, which got it from roughly around 50% all the way up to 100. Now here's where I explain how this isn't exactly a perfect scenario. So as mentioned, this car actually has 2 fuel pumps in it, and the factory cluster actually takes a reading from both sides of the tank and averages them to get your correct fuel level. Well, that's a little too overly complex for me and my electronic skills, so I'm just taking a reading from one side of the tank. Now what that means is when I'm driving and the car is moving around, the gas is sloshing side to side, side to side. The fuel level reading does fluctuate. Now it's not a massive fluctuation, it's not like it's going from 80 to 20, but it's definitely swinging. But that's alright, because once the car comes to a standing or still or whatever, I can see approximately how much fuel is in it. That means when it dips down to like 20 or 30 or something around there, it probably means it's about time for me to fill up, which is way better than what I had before, which was nothing. I never knew when to fill up. I didn't go over all of the electronics and wiring and everything real in depth because, well, that's boring. So if you guys want more information, leave me a comment and I'll try to get back to you and let you know exactly what I did. Configuration wise, there's probably not a lot of you out there that specifically need this, but there may be a few. Since I've got that wrapped up, let me put all of the parts back together on the inside and call this project finished up. So as you guys can see here, we're at 65% fuel level. I've been driving this car around a lot. Very happy that I have something. I also did some more configuring in the dash just to change things up. You can change so many parameters in these digital dashes. So I changed the RPM gauge. I might change it back, I don't know, we'll see. I'm just playing with some stuff. So that's all good, really happy with that. Now next up on the inside of the car, this whole center stack is gonna change. If you watched the video when I installed this double din unit and installed all new speakers from BAV Sound all around, put the delete panel up here. That was not necessarily the end of that project. I have some parts that came in from Australia. They're custom, and you guys will see that in the next video. I'm going to move these things around. It's going to look a lot cleaner, so look forward to that in the next video. Now, I want to move on to some office upgrades, as well as a tool that I bought specifically for this project that I'm going to need you guys' help with. My home office, at least for a while, was basically my kitchen. I would sit and edit videos on the kitchen counter on a stool, super uncomfortable. Not exactly the most ideal location to edit, nor is it the most comfortable. I have a spare bedroom, I just didn't have anything in it, didn't have office furniture, so I've been slowly upgrading it to be more like an office to help me make better YouTube videos, make them more efficiently, faster, quicker, better. Also, if you guys have noticed, I've been doing more voiceovers lately, so there was a ton of echo in this room, especially with basically just a desk. It's time to upgrade it, make it better, make it so I don't have echo, at least not as bad, make it more usable, kind of treat it like the garage, just make it all more organized and easier to use and work in, and a better layout overall. One of the big reasons for including this office upgrade is a tool that I want for the E36 specifically for the gauge cluster. I actually want to 3D print a new mold for the gauge cluster that's sort of like the delete panel I have now, but I want it to fit the Holley digital dash and have it all molded in and looking nice. So the first step to that is actually getting a 3D printer, which I got from Longer. Big shout out to them. So let me unbox it, put it together, and then I'm gonna need to enlist the help of you guys to figure out how to use it. Give it a test run, print out some files that I just find on the internet. I'm gonna have to learn how to use CAD or similar software so I can design this myself, or maybe you guys can suggest something, or if there's one of you out there that actually want to design this for you, I can give you the measurements and my ideas. That would be outstanding. But let's go upstairs and get to work. The first free print I tried that I found on the internet was actually a large BMW logo. Unfortunately, I didn't get the settings right on the 3D printer, so that print just turned out to be a mess. I don't know what I messed up in the settings. I probably didn't initially configure the 3D printer correctly, and it's the first time I've ever used one. That thing just kind of came out like mush. So I'm going to try something else. I found an actual S54 model engine. I'm going to try to print that. You can actually do it in a couple parts, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to start with the valve cover. The valve cover turned out pretty cool. There's still some filament that I need to break away because you can't print in space. But I actually printed it instead of up and down, sideways. I printed it horizontally, and that print came out much, much nicer. So, learning as I go with a 3D printer. Now I need to figure out how to design my own things. So do you guys suggest some type of certain software or something for me to get started? That would be great. Or if one of you want to design something for me, I'll pay you. That would be a big help. I also printed out the engine block of the S54, and that came out pretty sweet as well. I think I'm going to actually get some more colors and print out the whole engine. That's going to be a nice little thing just to keep on the desk, I think. Pretty cool. Alright, on to office upgrades. First off was a new monitor. I had only used my laptop before, like I said, in the kitchen, so getting an actual dedicated monitor, a curved wide one, is going to be a big help because it's easier to see more video, more timeline and everything while editing, so I can be more efficient at it. And next up, some sound deadening. So I received some help here in multiple stages of putting up these little octagon style pads. I got these from Amazon, and we'll see if it makes a difference because the echo in this office was horrendous with nothing on the walls and little to no furniture. Speaking of furniture, here is some more. I got another desk or table, if you will. Now that I put my 3D printer on the desk, I ran out of some space, so I need things to house all my cameras and the batteries and all that kind of stuff rather than just laying around in the house somewhere. So my buddy Carlos came over, helped me set this up. It's just a unit from Amazon, pretty easy to put together and cost effective. I also had more of these hexagon, octagon, whatever you want to call it, shaped pads to go on the other side of the office. Really, the more of these I put up, the more the echo is going to be reduced. Additionally, I got a different type and ended up installing them a little bit later. These square ones are way thicker and probably do a much better job at reducing echo. So now with all the new sound deadening here, plus all the new furniture and stuff, I'm hoping the echo is a lot better. You guys let me know. It'd be better if I honestly filled the whole room with these sound deadening panels, but they have definitely improved it. And the new monitor is a big help as well. I used to just do it on the laptop, like I said, in the kitchen. It was not ideal. Having this monitor gives me much more space to edit videos, a lot more room to see what I need to see. This laptop isn't the best, but this new setup is a massive improvement. I've got the new voiceover microphone. That seems to work decently. I'm always trying to do things to upgrade the quality of my videos. I hope you guys notice. I also got some more decorations up in here. Got all the matching furniture. Got a random chair over here that actually helps with sound deadening as well. So we're getting there, making progress. Very happy with how this has come out so far. I think I'm going to keep adding sound deadening though, just to help with the echo that much more. Certainly can't hurt.